anybody here yet? I know I was kind of sitting on that for a while. Oh, I just hit my camera and it didn't disconnect for once. I can't fucking believe it. This thing is so fickle as of late. No, 0 viewers. Okay, I'm all alone. All by myself. So I'll just, that's okay though. That's okay. I'm used to talking to myself. We'll get some people in here. We always do. I think like no one's going to get in here. And then, halfway through the show, I look up and I got 40, 50 people in here. So we'll get there. But as of right now, this is the longest I've ever went without having a single person. This is fun. So anyway, tonight I was going to try to get Friday the 13th Slasher Sunday done because I missed last week's. And everyone can write up Kaylee and give her shit for that. So it's all her fault, just so everyone knows. And then also, I was going to do Monster Monday with Exists, and I was sitting down to do it, and I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm just going to go live. I'm just going to do them both back to back because I can talk a lot, and it sounded like fun, and I had to record it anyways, so what the fuck? So what, wait, comments. Yeah, we still have no comments. Interesting. We have 4 people in here at least. At least I'm not all alone now. So thank you. Thank you to all 4 of you for joining me. It's late though. It's like 12:26 at night here. And I did not tell anyone I was doing this. So I should be fucking thankful that there's even a couple people here. You can't hear me. I've been talking this whole time and no one can hear me? Wait, are you fucking serious? Are you serious? Hey, can you hear me now? Wow. Default speakers. Communication. Hello. Oh my God. I bet. Wait a minute. Hello. So no one could hear me for those first like 3 minutes? Are you fucking serious? That's hilarious. That's awful. Do I want to have a live stream where I'm fucking muted for the first like 2.5 minutes? Jesus Christ, man, that's brutal. I didn't have anyone in here to tell me. It was. Oh, you did hear everything. Well, what was happening is it was going through that microphone. I'm glad somebody said something. Yeah, so you heard me. It was super low. That was because it was going through the webcam's mic and not this one. I accidentally unplugged it somehow. I don't know how the fuck that one happened. So take 2 is right, Master Roshi. All right. So anyways, how's it going, Scott? And Chongo is the one that even fucking set me off on this. And Chud's here. And I'm seeing some new names here that I'm not super familiar with, which is cool. I like seeing that shit. So a lot of interesting people here. Just rewatched your Friday Part 4 review again earlier today. Well, thank you for that. I have to give a shout out really quick. So about 3 months ago, I sat down and I watched the movie The Empty Man, which ended up making my top. I think it even made it into my top 10 of last year, or definitely made it to the top 25. I don't remember where it placed, but it placed pretty high. And honestly, I feel like if I watched it again, it would place even higher because I fucking loved it. And I just saw Chris Stuckman posted a video today. I don't know how long ago, but sometime today, that he did it 11 hours ago. And it says, The Empty Man deserves a cult following. So, every time I think that I'm, annoyed with him, or I think like he's overrated, or however, what people want to say, he does a video like that. And I'm like, all right, man, you get a little cred back, just a little bit, because The Empty Man is definitely a film that's worth everyone's time. Yeah, there's going to be some people who find it boring or don't like it, but man, I think it's fucking great. And he pointed out to me in there that The Empty Man doesn't even have a physical release, which blew my mind. Although in that video, he said that he's waiting on Lake Mungo to get a release. I'm assuming he means like a proper release because I own Lake Mungo. It was on fucking, After Dark Horror Fest year 3. I'm like, bro, I have that in my collection. So maybe he's just talking about like something with like a commentary and like a Blu-ray and all that shit. But I can't imagine Lake Mungo needing a Blu-ray. It's not really that kind of looking fucking film. But anyway, what was I going to look up here? Just going to look something. Oh, I was going to go to Amazon and actually see who's seen the Empty Man, the Bye Bye Man. I was just going to say the Bye Bye Man. That's hilarious. Who has seen the Empty Man here? I'm curious because I think that movie's rad. And Empty Man. Yeah, he's right. There's no DVD, Blu-ray, or nothing. It's only streaming. That's a damn shame. That's Disney's fault. I'm getting 0 comments, which just seems really odd. I disconnect. Am I still live? Can someone comment really quick? Just fucking, if you're not going to comment anything else, just tap the keyboard. Because I'm getting no fucking comments, and that seems unlikely. Anybody? Yes. I'm assuming people are typing because I'm not getting anything. That's okay. What in the hell is going on? Nothing. This is fucking crazy. Having issues. I must. Oh, wait, what? Now a bunch of fucking ones just came through. I don't know, whatever. All right, so let's talk about Friday 6's special features, everybody, shall we? Now, as usual with these special features, the special features on this, you're all, yeah, tap. Thank you, everybody. It's all, go to bed, man. Go to bed. No one's got to be here. I can do this by myself. You guys got to get to sleep. Get to sleep. Chris Stuckman was my introduction to movie review channels. Now I avoid his channel like the plague. I don't blame you. There's definitely some things on there that I'm like, oh, come on, man. Like, he definitely takes certain things way too seriously for my taste. But as I said, every once in a while, he'll do a cool video like that. And I'm like, all right, like, I like this video. I like this video. And I'm not here to hate on anybody. Now, with the Friday 6 stuff, yet again, like, there's barely anything new on here. There is a new commentary with CJ Graham, Tom Matthews, and a couple other actors. That is not the commentary I chose to listen to. I chose to listen to the one with just the director, because to me, I felt like I was going to get the most information out of that. Like, no one interrupting him, no one to fucking make jokes with, no one to, it's just him by himself talking about his film. So I thought that really worked for, and I quite liked the commentary. What I have to say about the director of this one is the guy is very proud and passionate about his film. And that to me is great, because there's a lot of filmmakers and actors and stuff that have worked on these pictures in this franchise, and they don't seem to be, all that excited about them. They're just kind of like, yeah, I'm here to talk about this, like, meh, and it's not flattering. It's not exciting. It's just kind of like, well, don't fucking do it if you don't want to do it. I'd much rather talk about Friday the 13th than you, and I didn't even fucking make the damn thing. So he was very, very excited to talk about his film, which is really cool. He'd only ever seen part 1 when he when he went in to make this film. And so he sat at Paramount and he watched parts 2 through 6. Well, maybe he watched 1 or 6, sorry. Yeah, he watched the movie he made first before he made it. He watched 2 through 5. I wrote down 2 through 6. That's why I fucked that up, dumbass. I He might have rewatched 1. Who knows? What's going on? But yeah, I thought that was interesting that they wanted to hire him and he had not seen like almost any film in the franchise, and then went to Paramount to watch all of the movies to kind of get inspired to see if he wanted to do it. And then he sat down and he wrote this movie and he directed it. That's really interesting to me. And it's definitely kind of inspiring, right? Like imagine being this, filmmaker, this lower budgeted filmmaker, and Paramount Pictures calls you up and is like, hey, you want to direct a Friday the 13th film? I mean, could you even imagine? I couldn't. That's for damn sure. That would be amazing. And not that anyone would ever call me up to ask me to do something for a film, but shit, man, if I got a phone call from like any major studio or any studio or anybody, and it was like, I want you to write the next Friday the 13th movie or Halloween movie or Nightmare on Elm, I would be so down. I'd be so down and I would be so excited. So please let that happen to me. But that's pretty cool. He also says that John Shepherd from Part 5 was asked to return and had no interest in doing so. That's sad to me. I mean, I like Tom Matthews and I've gotten used to it. And, I think the thing with John Shepherd, though, I don't feel like it would have fit the tone of this movie with how serious he is in Part 5. Imagine him coming in and trying to like goof it up for Part 6, because this film is pretty silly. I mean, this is a very playful movie. And when Tom McLaughlin was talking about his desire for making this movie, it came from this place where his father scared him when he was a kid. He like put on a monster mask or something, and he came into his room and he scared him. And then his wife like got all shitty on him and was like, stop scaring the kids, and really gave him a hard time for it. But Tom said as a kid, after that had happened, that he got just this kind of like, interest in monster movies. And he liked the idea of scaring for fun. Like he found that very thrilling and exciting and fun. And he wanted to kind of mirror that experience of like a blend of scary and fun. He wanted to, the film to be very playful, but also try to be scary at the same time, which I think is cool. So you never know with experiences like that. You never know like how you're going to affect anybody. You never know. When I talk to other horror fans in the past, one of the things that I'll hear is like, oh, I watched my first horror movie with the babysitter. I wasn't allowed to watch them, but my mom was out of town, or they were, off fucking at a dinner party or whatever. And the babysitter let me watch Nightmare on Elm Street or something like that. And then that sparked their interest, and now look at their life. I mean, you never know who's going to, be involved. So that's, and I always wonder that with my kids, my own children, is like, do I show them anything? Do I not? And for the most part, I haven't. The only thing that I've shown them horror wise, that's more like, it's not adult, but it's the most adult horror thing I've ever shown them, is the Poltergeist movies. We watched all 4 of them together. And they liked them, and they were never really that scared by them. So, where we'll go from there, I don't know. But it does have this huge impact. And we all, as horror fans, know what that impact was. We all have that jumping off point, right? That kind of initiation. And I know what mine was, seeing Halloween when I was 5. And you guys all have your own stories of what got you into the genre. But his dad's putting on a mask that night and scaring him is kind of what ended up being the catalyst that propelled him towards making Friday the 13th Part 6. So, yeah, it's just, I don't know. Hearing stories like that always just kind of reminds me that anytime people tell me that they're not special or they don't matter or they don't affect anything and whatever, it's like, you never know what you affect. You never know what you affect on a daily basis. You can fucking change people's lives with one single thing that you do that you don't even find even remotely interesting, which is really, really interesting to me. I think I said interesting too many times there. Say hello to Gone Hollow and to Dylan's Horror Show. So thank you. Props to you for making time to watch movies all the time, make reviews, have kids and work. I can barely handle work in my relationship. Yeah, I understand that. Hope you had a great birthday. Thank you. I didn't, yeah, I appreciate that. My birthday was what now? It was 6 days ago. Shit. But yes, thank you for the belated birthday. Hey man, when is your Snyder Cut review dropping? That's a good question. Maybe I'll record it after this. I still got to record Fear Footage 3 a.m. I've got to record Snyder Cut. I've got to record. What the fuck else did I watch? I don't know. I didn't take any notes for any of these things, so I'll wing them like usual because that's what I like to do. All right. So yeah, just, as I said, our little friendly reminder that you can affect someone's life in a very positive or a very negative way. Even the smallest things sometimes matter. Yeah. And I thought, yeah, the chick in the VW Bug who gets killed by, getting stabbed in the puddle, that's the director's wife. So that was cool. Bride of Chucky was your first horror film. That's an interesting first horror film because it's a horror comedy. And so it kind of sets a weird tone. And speaking of horror comedies, Friday the 13th Part 6, Jason Lives. This was my favorite of the franchise when I was a kid, which makes, of course, perfect sense because it's very goofy. It's like a kid's, it's like the fucking kids version of Friday the 13th. So it would make perfect sense that, what would I have been when I saw this? I probably saw this in the late 80s. So I was like 7, 8 years old. Makes perfect sense, right? This movie is very, very kiddish in a lot of its scenes. And we also find out in this that the original ending for this movie was the caretaker who did not die because they shot that scene later on after the producers said that they needed more kills. But they shot, they had an idea. They never shot it, but Tom McLaughlin actually had the idea of the caretaker meeting with Mr. Voorhees and Mr. Voorhees paying him to take care of Jason and Pamela's gravestones. And from what I saw, because I looked at it, the storyboards, and they kind of showed it with the voiceover from the actor who played the caretaker, it seemed like he was being hinted at as the next killer in the franchise, kind of like Tommy was at the end of Part 5, and that obviously didn't end up happening. But they eventually scrapped that because they wanted to make more sequels with Jason. But yeah, Carrie, 4 years old. There you go. Great film. So it's not a bad way to start. Alien, 1979, and Halloween were the first ones I remember age 4 to 5. See, very similar to me. Return of the Living Dead 2 was my first horror movie. Woke up late and it was on USA Up All Night with Gilbert Godfrey. That USA Up All Night, or who was the other one that used to host that? A chick, right? I want to say Downtown Julie Brown, but it wasn't. It was like, wasn't it Julie though? Wasn't it? Fuck man, it was so long ago. The first movie I remember as a kid, Rhonda Shear, there it is. Thank you. The first movie I remember as a kid was The Others with Nicole Kidman. I'm 24 with and Blade, but I was scared of the blood, and The Others made me run out of the room crying. That's funny. The Others is a fucking great movie, man. Great movie. Definitely one of the better one of the better twist endings in horror. You know, that's a fucking very impactful ending, and that's a PG-13 movie, and that just proves that horror does not need to be R in certain settings. I mean, ideally, most would be R, and I said this before, but I think that horror primarily works PG-13 when it's supernatural, because supernatural doesn't really need to be R. In fact, most really great supernatural movies, like horror movies, there's no death. There's like no death in any of them. It's really weird. But like The Conjuring or something, where you're just like, there's not a single death in the entire fucking movie. It's really weird, right? Poltergeist, right? Is there a death in that? I don't think there is. They show a death, kind of. The guy's face melts off and shit. What age groups do you think you get most views from? Well, I actually can tell you that very specifically. If I go into my YouTube studio and I go into analytics and I go into audience and I go into gender and lifetime. All right. So 79.9% male. No shock there. Not a lot of female horror fans out there, but there's some. And 20.1% female. So that's of my lifetime. Age ranges. So this is what you were looking for. So age ranges from lifetime is 13 to 17.9%. Not much there. 18 to 24, 21.8%. And then my biggest demographic right here, 25 to 34 at 39.1%. 35 to 44, 26.5%. 45 to 54, 10.1%. 55 to 64, 1.4%. So I really start to drop off at the 50s. 55, like people in their 50s are like, fuck this little idiot. Who does this guy think he is? And then 65 plus 0.2%. So 13 to 17 watches me more than 65 plus. Over 20% females is very high, really, because I'm so fucking good looking, right? You're 10.1%. What are you? Oh, you're 45 to 54. See, look at that. I can get some of those. When do you think we'll get another golden age of horror movies? Well, Dominic, I'm glad you asked, because I don't know how alone I am on this. You guys can chime in the comments below. But I have a lot of friends who agree with me on this, and I have a lot of friends who disagree with me on this big time. But I think the greatest decade of horror just happened. 2010 to 2019. I think that is the most consistent, decade for horror. Personally, I just going through my top 100 of that decade, I made a list of the top 100. I was just blown away by how many films on there that I absolutely loved. And while I look at the 80s very fondly, of course, and there's a lot of great movies in there, there's a lot of shitty movies too. Like even movies I love, I think are like not good movies. Like the quality of horror now to me is much better. There's a lot of shit. There's a lot of shit in any decade, right? But I feel like the 2010s have had and of course it's going to be an opinion thing, right? So, something like A24, there's people out there that are like, oh my God, A24, get it away. And then there's, more pretentious people like myself who are like, give it all to me. I want this, real fucking deep thought, risky, pretentious ass horror. Give it to me all day. So 2010s, I will argue that all day. There was some garbage in the early 2000s. Well, Dylan, there was garbage in every year, and there will be garbage in every year to come. There will never be a year in horror that has all great. That'll never happen. That'll never happen. Who would you have direct a horror style Batman movie? A horror style Batman movie. Andy Muschietti. I think the It movies are big and bold, and dark. And I think that he has the use of CGI, obviously, which Batman movies would need. And of the horror directors that have out there that would handle a bigger production well and be able to kind of capture that really dark tone that it would need, Andy Muschietti, I think, for myself. We got Del Toro here for Gone, Hollow, and Josh. So yeah, it's not bad. Yeah, Andy Muschietti is doing a Flash movie. That's kind of what made me think of it. I was just looking at the Flashpoint movie after I watched the Snyder Cut, and I was like, I want to see what else is on the horizon for this. What's still in the works and what isn't, because a lot of shit got canceled and a lot didn't. And supposedly we're getting that Flash movie like next year. But yeah, I missed. Well, okay, let's get back to Friday 6 because I don't want to get too off topic here. That was fun though. Thank you for that question about age range. That was fun. Top geographies. This one's interesting. Lifetime. So obviously the United States takes up 57%. And then down from there, the next few countries that I get attention from, this is interesting. 2.4% from India, 1.8% from the Philippines, 1.7% from Indonesia, and 1.0% from Australia. Canada 3.7%, and the United Kingdom 6.5%. And then from there, other is just 22.3%. So I guess other, that's a lot of fucking countries in there, huh? They just don't they don't matter enough to get their own thing. That's funny. But yeah, United States, obviously, that's not. Some people watch my videos. They said there's subtitles. Like, fuck. I can only imagine what my subtitles look like. That'd be hilarious. This is interesting. My watch time from subscribers. So 51% from non-subscribers, 51.9%, and 48.1% are from subscribers. So actually more non-subscribers watch my videos than subscribers. Interesting. That means I'm not very good. Not enough people are subscribing. Shit. I gotta pull my dick out or something. I don't know. I gotta get everyone. Well, lunchtime is over. Have a great night. Thank you, Jason Voorhees. Wow, everybody. Jason Voorhees from the Friday the 13th franchise himself stopped by just to watch my Friday the 13th Part 6 review that I just cannot seem to get back to. Let's see. So, yeah, what do you guys think about that original ending of Mr. Voorhees? Are you guys on board with a Mr. Voorhees? Do you want to ever see a Mr. Voorhees? Do you ever want to hear Mr. Voorhees talked about? Because, I don't know, would ever want to see Mr. Voorhees explored in the Friday the 13th movies? Probably not. I mean, I don't really care. I've been binge watching your reviews for the last 2 weeks. Thanks for the awesome content. You were hilarious. Thank you for spelling your correctly. You're amazing for that. Thank you. But what do you guys think? You want a Mr. Voorhees? I don't. I've talked about this before. I want a origin story. I want a remake of Mrs. Voorhees and Jason. But I've talked about that enough on there. I'm not gonna fucking bore you guys. Now I got to watch the slashed scenes. So I got to see the deleted gore of the film, And none of it's really that interesting. The only thing that's even slightly interesting to me is the triple decapitation where you get to see the heads hit the ground and then everyone falls on their knees. And that's really it. Okay, that's not true. I guess the sheriff's death is a little bit more graphic. You get to see it from like a top angle and shit. So that's not bad, I suppose. But I don't know. None of them are really all that interesting, to be honest. And it's kind of stuff that you're watching going, the MPAA cut this shit? Really? Like, interesting. In my headcanon, Mr. Voorhees loved Jason, but jumped ship because Pamela was nuts. Okay. I could go with that. I'm not sure what Mr. Voorhees could add to the table besides maybe how he shaped Pamela's personality. Isn't Freddy Krueger Jason's dad? Huh? Maybe Mr. Voorhees would explain Jason's charming looks. That it'd be fucking, it'd be funny. It'd be Sloth from the Goonies. That'd be great. Hey, Jason. That'd be fucking great, man. All right. Let's see. There was 4 commentaries on this fucking thing. 4 of them. One of them was new. And if I realized that it was new, I might have went with that one. But I'm glad I listened to the one that I listened to. But I could not fucking do that. Hello. I think the relationship between Pamela and Jason would be more interesting. I agree 100%. Mr. Voorhees could be Hatchet. I think you mean Victor Crawley, but I get you. Yeah, that'd be funny, huh? Let's see. This film was filmed in Georgia, which I don't think I knew. C.J. Graham, who played Jason Voorhees, was a Marine, so Tom McLaughlin was saying how well he took orders and how seriously he took it and how professional he was and how focused he was as a Marine. So that was cool. And that added to his kind of Terminator-esque walk and appearance. So I think for this film, the way CJ walks and the way CJ operates is great. Good morning, Filthy Dan. What are you doing up? How many hours ahead are you? I can't imagine that it's that many. It's only got to be like a couple. What the fuck are you doing up? It's like 3 a.m. Not when I say what are you doing up, like if you're still up, that's fine. But like if you woke up right now, who the fuck wakes up this early? 3 a.m. Nobody wakes up at 3 a.m. Okay, some people do, but not many. And all right, let's see. He said that he wanted to do that Bond style opening because he wanted it to kind of set the tone for the film, that it was going to be goofy. And success. 100% success. Do I like the Bond slashing through the eye? Yeah, you know what? I do. I think it's same time zone. Really? So you're at 1 a.m. as well? So you cannot have just woken up unless you work like the late shift at some job. But and the Sheriff Garris in this is named after director Mick Garris, which I thought was really cool. And what did Mick Garris? He said, I named it after Mick Garris and we were like buddies. This was made in 1986. What the fuck was Mick Garris doing in 1986? Let's look up Mick Garris's career really quick because I didn't know he made films that long ago very much. Let's see. As a director, 1986, pre-86. All right, let's see. He made The Making of the Goonies. What are the fucking odds? That's hilarious. Making of the fucking Goonies. Wow. Hey, Jason. Amazing Stories, a TV story. Yeah, well. He named him after Mick Garris. Let's see. Producer Mick Garris. Let's see. Coming soon. That's a horror thing. Making of the Goonies. No, nothing pre-86. Actor. Let's see. Actor. He was in Michael Jackson's Thriller as a zombie. Interesting. And then he was in The Howling as a man with a TV guide. This is really interesting. Like, how did they even know each other? Was he just like working on the movies? I'm looking through his everything, and I'm not saying that he had any involvement on this, but he outright said it's director Mick Garris that did all the Stephen King adaptations. So I don't know. That's really interesting because he hadn't directed anything at that point. I got nothing on that one. He didn't explain how they knew each other from what I remember. So I just realized and it would have been shot in like early 86 or even late 85. So who the fuck knows? All right. Another thing I learned here that now I can never unsee ever in my fucking life. And never mind. Is that Court, the actor who plays Court, is John Travolta's nephew. And he was like, look at his eyes. You can tell. Holy shit, can you ever? I was looking at Court and I was like, oh my God, that really is. He has John Travolta's eyes. 100% he does. I had no idea. And finding that out blew my mind. So yeah, good old Court in this is related to John Travolta. And now that you know that, and some of you probably already know that, but if you haven't, you're never going to see it. You're never going to unsee it. You're never going to not see it in his eyes from now on. That tripped me out. I also found out that Court completely ad-libbed his entire, like, the rock thing where he's knocking over the rocks and telling the kids the bonding between the kids. That was totally him. All him. And I didn't write a word of that. I was like, oh, wow, that's like, I remember that very well. And the director also pointed out to me that when Court is done having sex in the RV, that you can actually hear him taking the condom off, that they actually inserted that sound. And he did that because he wanted to promote safe sex. And, now I'm like, oh my God, I can hear the condom being, pulled off. Like I never noticed before. The store that Tommy is outside of when he calls in and talks to Megan is called Karloff's something. And that's, of course, being based on Boris Karloff. And Boris Karloff played Frankenstein's monster. And Friday the 13th Part 6 was based on Frankenstein's monster since he was brought back by an electrical bolt of lightning. So I thought that was pretty cool. I never noticed the building was called Karloff's until he pointed it out. And then the lightning thing and everything was like, oh, duh. So that was pretty cool. And let's see. Oh, so Dan did fall asleep and wake up. So there you go. He just knocked out for a little bit though. Have you and Lee ever considered doing a podcast together? It would be neat to hear both of you discussing a certain franchise or a certain movie and seeing how your opinions compare and contrast. We've done a few live streams together, but no, we've never done a podcast, I don't know, man. I did the podcast thing and I don't know. I'd be down. Who I want to do a podcast with is Christian Luciani from Exploding Heads Horror Movie Podcast. I think we'd have a really great time. Love that guy. And I think that we jive really well together and I have a good time with him. So, and we could just talk endlessly about horror. And there's other people too that I would definitely like to. Peter Benevente, love that new mic. Hair is looking good too. Hope you are doing well. What's the monster movie you will be talking about? That Exists from Eduardo Sanchez, and this was sent to me by none other than Guillermo Canales. So he requested that. He sent me some money to review it. So wonder if the sound guy actually recorded the sound of pulling a condom off his Dick. Let's go with Dick. Maybe good old Foley artist going in and doing a little extracurricular activity for his job. Now, did he go full method and come in the thing too? That's what you got to do, man. If you're going to do it, you got to commit, right? You got to commit. So he had to ejaculate into the rubber and then pull it off. Otherwise, the sound wouldn't match. They would just be missing that extra wetness to it. Sometimes you guys just get me to say the best things. Thank you. All right. Let's see. Okay. This is a part of the commentary that I was like, really, bro? Tom McLaughlin, you watched 1 through 5 before this? He says on there that in his movie, Deputy Cologne, he points out that it's Friday the 13th, right? And McLaughlin says in the commentary, he's like, I don't know if any other Friday the 13th film has said or been set on Friday the 13th. He's like, so I wanted to do that, just kind of like, I think he said the word ironic. Like, I want to be ironic. Can't be right. Maybe it is. But he was saying that he's just like, yeah, he said something about that, but he wanted to make sure like he set this on that date. And it's like, bro, why the fuck do you think the movie's called Friday the 13th? Like, that was a really dumb comment. Like that, I don't know what it was about that comment, but I just kind of sat back and was like, what? You don't think that any other films in this franchise were set on Friday the 13th? Really? And you don't think that they ever made mention of it? You watched them before, and you're talking about how much you love this movie, and he even says he likes the franchise and this and that. Like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, yeah, bro, a couple of them were set on Friday the 13th. Not all of them, granted. Part 3, 4 weren't. 5? Was 5 set on Friday the 13th? Wait. Yeah. Wait. Is it? Yes, it is. Yes, it is. It's when they're going to the rat-a-tat-tat-tooey. But yeah, the first and the second are for 100%. I just could not fucking believe that one. I was just like, as I said, why do you think this is called Friday the 13th? That was the dumbest comment. That was the dumbest fucking comment. So, I'll give him a pass, but wow. The pacing in this film is fantastic. Of all the Friday the 13th, I definitely think this has one of the strongest pacings. Like, this movie's like right from the get, and it never lets up. And he purposely made it a film. Like he said a movie. He purposely made it like constantly moving, constantly evolving, constantly, just going. And I love that. Is it ever mentioned in the original that it's set on Friday the 13th? Yes. Yes, it is. Where? In the very opening, when it says Friday, June 13th, present day. I think that's a pretty good indication that it's Friday the 13th. So yes, it's very much. Anyway. Let's see. Where am I? His dad's here now. Yeah, I already talked about all that shit. And oh, Jesus Christ, I took way too long of a note on that one thing. Holy fuck. The kids under the bed who make that joke about what were you going to be when you grow up are actually brothers in real life. I thought that was cool. They look nothing alike, and then in the credits, I saw that they had the same last name. So yeah, that was cool. The scenes where Jason is being pulled underwater and all that stuff, and where he like gets his neck snapped and all the shit comes up out of the water. That was actually filmed in the director's parents' pool. They went in there and they shot it in their pool in the backyard of their house. That's fucking crazy, man. It's so wild to me, like movie magic, like just how you can never tell. Like you can't fucking tell it's not in that lake. It's crazy. That's just so cool. I love that about film. It's total escapism. Like you can trick your audience. Movie magic. I love that shit. Is in his pool in his parents' backyard. It's fucking crazy. And yeah, the director on this did 3 of the 4 commentaries, and the only one that he didn't do is the new one, is the one for the Scream Factory release. Outside of that, he was on every other fucking one. So the ones that they did back in like 2008, he was on all 3 of them. They were like, "Oh, we're doing a commentary," and he's like, "Count me in." And they're like, "Okay, well, we're gonna count me in." Whichever one they were there, he was count me in. So that's great. And I think that's so cool that they did that. So, but yeah, I mean, the special features on this are real limited. I didn't listen to all the commentaries. I don't have time to watch fucking 4 commentaries. I just don't have the time. I'm not going to watch the same film 4 times in a row to listen to 4 different commentaries. I picked the one I wanted to listen to, which is the one with the director only. But that new one with CJ Graham, Tom Matthews, and then 3 other people, that'd be cool. I could dig that. I could watch that. But that's it for Friday the 13th, part 6. Special features for this week. And we're going to move on to Exists, the found footage film from Eduardo Sanchez, director of the Blair Witch Project. And this is a film I quite enjoy. I haven't seen it in a long while, and it was cool to get this. I've already owned this, so I will be sending this out to a buddy of mine, Wyatt Terwilliger. But I had it in my car, so I did watch his copy, but that's okay. It was already opened anyway. What's the best commentary I've ever heard? Mine. When I just listen to myself talk to myself in a room while watching a movie. I'm like, wasn't that funny, Jason? And I'm just fucking completely insane. I'm just completely fucking crazy. So, but at least I like the sound of my craziness. So that works. Okay, a real answer. I listened to all the commentary tracks for the Middle Earth movies with Peter Jackson and his wife. So those are the most informative. I really enjoyed the fuck out of them. So yeah, those, all of them, give them all to me. Jason Lives, hey Mr. Hat, is my second favorite, but I must say those 2 kids are my least favorite part. No kid would talk like that in that situation. Those kids were too busy pissing their pants to crack jokes. I mean, the film is so fucking goofy, man. Like, the guy's head hits a tree, and then when his face slides to the right or the left, whatever it is, there's a fucking happy face there. Like, the film is goofy. So I don't know. I never question how goofy someone is in the movie, but I mean, I guess come to think of it, like, if you're saying that, thinking about everyone's actions in the movie, I don't know. We have a 4th wall break from the caretaker who looks right at us and says his little line there about some people have a strange sense of humor or whatever the fuck it is. So I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. The movie's goofy. But yeah. All right. So Exists. Yet again, I have to completely smash. Ow, my microphone. Perfect timing for that joke. I have to completely smash Metacritic because I went on there and the Metacritic score was low. That's not surprising to me. But there was 3 fucking zeros. 3 zeros. I've said this before, man. A zero's outrageous. Like, Manos, the Hands of Fate. I don't even know if that's a 0 because at least it's accidentally entertaining because of how horrible it is, but maybe not without the Mystery Science Theater 3000 commentary. So if I had to watch it without the Mystery Science Theater 3000 guys, I mean, that's why I'm saying, but I guess if I had to rate it just as a film, it's probably a 0. Okay. It's pretty rare that you can find a legitimate 0. When you're talking about out of 100, and you can use 1, 2, 3, you can use single digits, you can use whatever you want from 0 to 100. A 0 is fucking outrageous to me. Like, I cannot take you seriously as a critic if you're throwing zeros out. Like, the films I've seen in my life that would get a 0, people. You're talking about terrible sound, terrible fucking, there's not one good thing to say about it in any way, no matter what you try to do. You sit down, you rack your brain and you go, was there good cinematography? Was the sound design good? Was the acting good or okay? Was like zeros. How many zeros do you think that you've seen in your life? You fucking prick, cunt, fuck. How dare you? How dare you even make such a joke? But a 0. Death House is a 0 to me. And that is like in the last like decade might be the only 0 I've ever seen. You know, even something like Brahms the Boy 2, which I thought was horrendously awful, like dreadful, one of the worst movies I've ever seen in my entire life. It was so abysmal. The film looked fantastic. And the acting from everyone was fine. Like Katie Holmes and shit, they were fine. They were all right. So would I give it a 0, even though I thought it was horrendous? No, of course not. Because I'm a rational fucking human being. I'd probably give it like a 10. I'd probably give it a 10 out of 100. You know, something like that. Because it gets merit for certain elements of it. Same thing with like Black Christmas 2019. It's a good looking movie. The acting in it is actually pretty good. Imogen Poots is fucking great. You know, she's a great actress and she's good in it. Do I like what she's acting for? Like, do I like the dialogue? Do I like anything? No, absolutely not. But does she play somebody who has been traumatized very well? Absolutely. So to me, that's a fucking, it's not a 0, even though I think it's horrendous, even though I thought it was like legitimately offensive to me. And I'm never offended by anything. But as a man, I was like, Jesus Christ, can you like beat this? Like, men are dreadful. Men are all rapists and, you know, at heart. That's literally the fucking message of Black Christmas 2019. I don't care what anyone tells me. I watched that movie and the literal message of that film is that deep inside of every man is a rapist, is a fucking rapist and a woman beater. And all it takes is this black sludge to get into men to make them act on their deepest instincts, which is to fucking rape women. I was watching the movie just like gobsmacked, like, wow. Even that film I wouldn't give a 0 to because it's a great looking movie. And it has a cool opening. The blood angel in the yard and everything. It's cool. It's, you know, so am I giving it a 0? Of course not. I'm a fucking asshole. So, and even the Child's Play remake, which I fucking can't stand. There's a lot of things in that. The kills in that movie are great, right? There's some really good kills. So am I giving it a fucking 0? No. A fucking 0, man. A 0 for Exist. Get out of here. Get out of here. Just the scene where the Bigfoot is chasing down the guy on the bike. That alone is worth something, right? That shit's fucking great. Or when the Bigfoot jumps off the cliff onto the RV and is like looking in there. There's some effective scares. There's some good shit. The 0? Come on. Come on. You're not a real fucking critic, man. You're not a real critic. Fucking fake. Anyway. So Eduardo Sanchez has made a pretty good career in horror. I am going to be talking spoilers for this movie, so if someone hasn't seen it, they should, you know. I mean, I know a lot of people are like, "Fuck it, I don't care." You know, I like being here, but they ripped off Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2 or T2, Terminator 2. They ripped off T2 because of the because of the robot thing. I mean, there's a lot of killer robot movies. What scene? What are you talking about? Maybe I'm just completely misremembering it because fuck, man. I've seen it twice. You know what's funny too is I just bought it. It was in the little fucking $5 bin at Walmart on Blu-ray, and I was just like, oh, fuck it. I'm a completist. I got to have it for my collection, you know. And maybe one day I'll do like a watch party or something where I just completely start trashing the fucking thing. A no kill rule from Terminator. Okay. You can't kill anyone, okay? Why? Because you just can, okay? Why? Ah, fuck, I love that movie. What's wrong with Wolfie? Your false dependents are dead. All right. So yeah, Eduardo Sanchez did The Seventh Moon with Amy Smart, which is a Ghost House Underground movie. Which of those movies, I think Dance of the Dead is my favorite. I'm thinking of those correctly, right? Dance of the Dead. I love that movie. Really great zombie comedy. Back when zombie comedies were like coming out every week after Shaun of the Dead. I actually liked the Child's Play remake more than most. I liked how Chucky learned from his behaviors from his owners rather than being evil from the start. Yeah. Okay. Like, there's things I like about it, but there's so much I don't like about it that I just couldn't get past it. I hate the look of the doll. Oh my God. I don't know how that thing got approved. It's horrendous looking, and not in a good, scary kind of way or creepy way. It's just awful. It should not have been made to look like that. So that's really bad. I'm not going to get it. You watch my fucking break. I did a Slasher Sunday on it. You can hear my full thoughts on why I didn't like that movie. Anyway, Eduardo Sanchez also did a movie called Altered, which is a pretty good little alien movie. I dug that. And then he did Lovely Molly, which I reviewed in full spoiler discussion very recently, like within the last few months. And that's a good movie. That's a good movie as well. So Sanchez does some good stuff. And this movie has Dora Madison in it, who recently has been making those Joe Begos movies like Bliss and VFW. And, you know, the first time I saw Dora Madison was probably this. I remember her being Masuka's daughter on Dexter. But I would venture to say that's after this. But she's great in this. Her breakdown, when she thinks that the dude on the bike is dead and she like freaks the fuck out and is crying and screaming. It's great, man. It's very, very believable. And you can see how she's going to become. But a lot of people find her very annoying. And I can understand that because when she tries to play like the over the top, bad, like Joe Begos, I think kind of just, she gives an over the top performance. So, what was the Bobcat Goldthwait Bigfoot movie? I can't remember the title, but I thought Exist was much more entertaining. I agree with you. That movie was called Willow Creek. Dark Knight has already answered that, so I guess never mind my answer because it's already been answered. Willow Creek was not a film that I enjoyed. I couldn't get into it. Maybe I'll give it another chance because I love Bobcat movies, man. If you guys haven't seen Bobcat movies, Bobcat makes some rad flicks. And God Bless America is fun. World's Greatest Dad. And then Sleeping Dogs Lie. Is that the name of that movie? I can't tell you what the premise of that movie is, but it's great, man. So I feel like every Bobcat movie I've watched. Oh yeah, he did do Shakes the Clown. That was his directorial debut. I've never seen Shakes the Clown, but I do own it. I think I have it on Blu-ray even. I got it from the $5 bin from Walmart along with Child's Play. I bought it because my buddy Keen is a big fan on it. He's keen on it. And I got to watch that. Because, yeah, I think that might be the only Bobcat movie I have not seen. So, but yeah, I've seen a few Bigfoot found footage horror movies. And I've seen a bunch of, I've seen a good amount of Bigfoot horror movies, but there's the Lost Coast tapes. Is that what that's called? And then there's, what's that other one? I've seen, and then there's, as I said, there's other ones that are just Bigfoot horror movies, but that aren't found footage. But there's a few Bigfoot found footage horror movies. Shakes the Clown is good, but if you want a fucked up clown movie, watch Vulgar. Yeah, I've seen Vulgar. It's produced by Kevin Smith, and it's got the dude from Clerks as the clown who is raped, and yeah, it's a good movie. It's been a long time since I've seen it, but it's definitely dark. And if you want to watch another one that I would recommend, that was produced by Eli Roth, that would be Clown. I think that's a cool one. I think that's a really cool concept. He puts on the clown costume, and it starts like attaching itself to his body and making him lose his sense of himself and become a killer clown. It's cool. I like that premise a lot. And we got Night of the Demon, 2 in a row, right at the same time, so no one's copying each other. Night of the Demon, I guess, is a good Bigfoot horror movie from the 80s. Night of the Demon. All right. Not Night of the Demons, everybody. Night of the Demon. Night of the Demon from 1983. Professor Nugent, I almost said Nugget, and his students try to track down Bigfoot, but end up uncovering something more sinister at work. It is currently on Amazon Prime, so there you go. I've never seen it, so there you go. Someone found a movie I haven't seen. Good job. Whether or not I'll ever watch it, I do not know. The opening shot features a guy wearing a Daniel Johnson shirt, which was really interesting to see. I haven't seen a Daniel Johnson, hi, how are you shirt in a while. Kurt Cobain used to, and anybody thinks like I have jock itch right now and I'm going down and I'm like doing a Buddy impression from Just One of the Guys and saying all fucking balls itch. It's a fact. That's not what's happening down here. When I keep moving around in my chair, shit keeps fucking, yeah. Not that you need to know what's going on, but I feel like, fucking Steve Martin in Planes, Trains, and Automobiles right now. You do more ball handling in one night than Larry Bird than Larry Bird does in his career, or whatever the fuck that line is. That's what I feel like right now. I'm not trying to, but Jesus Christ. So I have to explain myself. Does anybody know who Daniel Johnson is? If you don't know who that is, look him up. He's a musician. And they actually made a documentary on him called The Devil and Daniel Johnson, or something like that. TMI, good. I'm glad it's too much fucking information for you, Dream Warrior. Suck on it. Let's see. Lighting someone's beard on fire while they're asleep. Not funny. Not funny at all. So, not cool. Don't do it. And then they hit something. Now, as I said, this is spoilers. So, you've been warned. We find out at the end of the film, the big reveal, that they hit a baby Sasquatch. And this is a revenge movie. But we do not find out that this is a revenge movie until the very end. Which then immediately makes you kind of switch gears and go, holy shit, now I know why the Bigfoot's doing it. I mean, that's a great twist because typically it's a monster movie, right? And the monster is unjustified on why he's doing it. And he's just being instinctually or in his territory, or he's just a monster. He kills. There's nothing to it. They don't really give character development or twists or anything to monster movies. But in this one, we do get that. We get a fucking reveal that its baby was killed and he wants revenge. That's fucking great, man. That's fucking great. I love that. So really cool twist there. Love when they show that. And when they show the baby, it's got like this burial site, and it's like fashioned this stuff around him, and it's very chilling. It really is. So I feel bad for the Bigfoot in this movie at the end. Throughout, you're like, you just see it as a monster. You don't care about it. You're just like, oh my god, that thing's scary. It's terrifying, right? That's how you see the thing in the entire film. But then when the end happens, you're like, whoa, wow, shit. Now I feel like an asshole, And then when you go back to rewatch it, like I did tonight, throughout, I'm sitting there like, you killed its fucking baby, man. Like, what would you do? What would you do if some, creatures came through and killed your kid? Imagine the flip side of that. Some like creatures out in the woods came out and, murdered your kid. Would you not go hunt them down and kill them all? Of course the fuck you would. Of course you would. I can think of a sci-fi film called Killer Clowns from Outer Space, but it doesn't have gore and horror in it. It's an 80s film. Well, yeah, I think we've all heard of Killer Clowns from Outer Space. It's a very popular cult film, and I did cover it for Monster Monday. So go check out my thoughts on that. Have I seen The Lost Broadcast? It's about the Jersey Devil, but still pretty cool. Interesting found footage pre-Blair Witch film. Yes, sir, I have. There's a pretty silly reveal twist at the end that I felt was ambitious for the project, and I respect it, even though I remember it being silly. Now, keep in mind, I watched this in 2000 after the Blair Witch craze. Found footage became the hot thing. And then there was one tape in the video store when I was living in Lake Arrowhead, California. And it was at this video store in Blue Jay, California. And I had a biggest crush on this girl who worked at the fucking counter. Her name was Johnny. And oh God, I thought Johnny was the cutest fucking girl. And I remember going in there all the time, and they had a movie called The Last Broadcast, obviously. And on the cover, it promoted that it was pre-Blair Witch. Like that was like its big thing. It was found footage that was pre-Blair Witch, and that it was real, of course. This one's real, for real this time. And yeah, I rented it and I watched it then. And this was, a year, I think, after Blair Witch, which came out in 99. So this would have been about 2000, which makes sense because I would have been 18. And that's when I was living in Lake Arrowhead. So it's all lining up. And I did actually get Johnny to go out with me once. And we went out to a baseball diamond, and I kissed her for like 2 seconds. And then I don't remember what ended up happening. We never really hung out again, I don't think, after that. I guess I just sucked at kissing. So for anyone who wants to know what it's like to kiss me, it's obviously not very good. So sorry to let you all down. Rawhead Rex. Yes, I covered this on Monster Monday. Clive Barker film. Extro and the Deadly Spawn. I covered Extro and the Deadly Spawn on my channel. I did the entire Extro trilogy. Yes, there is parts 2 and 3, and they're actually all good. Extro 3, Watch the Skies, is kind of hard to find, but I think it's on YouTube. But yeah, I have all 3, I think, on VHS. Extro 1 is a really bizarre movie. It's a really bizarre film, but man, I love it. I love it. And it's very iconic in my house with my brother and I, because we watched it together, and there's a lot of stuff that comes from us off that film. And then Deadly Spawn is another fun one. Monster movie with a little kid who like thinks he's a magician and whatnot. It's a cool film. I have the Blu-ray, but yes, I covered those on my channel. Night Beast. Night Beast. I don't think I know Night Beast. LOL, yes, this real found footage film contains music and editing. Highly believable. Totally checks out. Well, I mean, the footage could be real, right? And then they edit it, and then it's not like you have to find the tape and then you're just like playing the tape unedited. I mean, just because you just because you find the footage and you can edit the footage. It's found footage that you can do anything with, right? So I don't think that that's a knock on it being found footage, but yeah, anyway. But I get what you're saying. Shudder has a monster movie called Outcast. It's cool. Outcast. I don't think I've seen that one. Your brother should do some reviews with you. I agree. Johnny sounds hot. Adam's apple and all. That's right. It's Joni, you fucking prick. Or maybe she was a guy. Okay? Maybe she was a guy. Maybe I'm fucking made out with a guy. Maybe she was like, maybe that's why she didn't call me again. It's because she thought I felt her Adam's apple. Maybe I felt her heart on against me. That's why I asked her out, because I knew she had a dick. So there you go. They hit something, and it's like crying in the night. That's really sad too. Like once you know, like if you know the ending, and you watch it a second time, it's like screaming out at night, right? And you think this is just it trying to intimidate them, but no. What's really happening is it's crying out in agony, of pain, a mental. It's in a glass case of emotion. That's exactly what's happening. Milk was a bad choice. And the girls in this are, you got Dora Madison, who's a very attractive girl, and then the redhead, I think she's redheaded. Yeah, redhead. She's got like this bathing suit on with the little cherries on. They're both very attractive. No nudity, but it's all right. Except for the guy. We get to see a guy's ass. There you go. Here's Johnny. Wouldn't that be funny? That's probably what you meant, but if you didn't, that'd be funny if when I was with Johnny, she was like, here's little Johnny, and she pulled her dick out. That'd be the greatest fucking moment of my life. That'd be hilarious. And here's little Johnny. I don't know why that's so fucking funny in my head. Now that's all I can think about. Now all I can think about is like me out on the baseball diamond with Johnny, and I have like a total, Angela moment from Sleepaway Camp. He's a boy, and she's just like, shit. It's getting late. What time is it? 1:30 in the morning. Holy fuck me. All right. Probably not doing any other reviews tonight. I can't imagine that I am, but maybe. You found Johnny's footage. Was that a dick joke? Was that a penis length joke right here? Is that what that was? She better not have a bigger dick than me. See, like that's like the ultimate sin. Okay. Like, yeah, if I take a girl home and she's a dude, that sucks. But it would suck way more. Like it would add serious insult to injury if like I pulled her dick out and it was bigger than mine. I'd be like, bro, what? No, you gotta leave me something here. You gotta leave me some shred of fucking dignity, man. I already fell for this, but now you gotta fucking embarrass me. A chick with a bigger dick than me. That's uncalled for. So the footage thing, that's funny. That's funny if that's what you meant. I love it. And if not, I'm glad that's what sparked in my mind anyway. Let's see here. So when they go to their car in the morning, this thing has completely smashed their car and shoved a tree through it. Basically, this reminds me heavily of in Man of Steel when Clark Kent is working at a diner and this guy pisses him off and he doesn't want to punch the guy in retaliation, the bully. He goes out and he takes his truck and he smashes it up and he sticks a fucking, one of the logs that he's hauling behind it. He sticks it right through the whole thing. That's kind of what that reminded me of. Whenever I think of Friday the 13th 6, I always remember the line, "This might get hairy," while the guy's staring. Yeah. And this was in 1986 when girls actually still had hair on their vaginas. So it actually adds up. It's time period appropriate. It's emphasis on period, if you know what I mean. Do you class My Little Eye from 2002 as found footage? Always liked that movie, but it never seems to appear on many found footage lists. Um, I would have to I think I reviewed it. Maybe not. I'd have to go back and rewatch it to see if all of the footage in the film comes from the cameras, the Big Brother type cameras in the walls. Do they? So that would be the question. If all the footage comes from the cameras, then yes. If it ever breaks away from that, then no. So you have to answer me that question. So there you go. Jason, do you have a crush on Destiny? Who the fuck is Destiny? Oh shit, almost fell over. No, but she has a crush on me. Come on, guys, it's so obvious. Joke. It's a joke. I don't need Destiny's 8-foot tall boyfriend coming and beating me up. Exists, loved it. He loved it and he loved it. My mom thinks Bigfoot is real. That's because your mom is hoping Bigfoot's going to come into her room and show her why he's called Bigfoot. You know what they say about monsters with big feet, right? Are you ever going to tackle the disturbing movies iceberg trend that's going around? Disturbing movies iceberg? The fuck is that? I have no idea what you're talking about. Are you ever going to tackle the disturbing movies iceberg? You'll have to clarify. I have no idea. Who here thinks Bigfoot is real? No one in my audience thinks Bigfoot is real. All right, let's see. I like how when the car's all smashed up, the guy's yelling at the other guy because he told him in the manual book of fucking Bigfoot that he's friendly. You said he was friendly. You said he was friendly. I think that's fucking hilarious. And let's see. Basically, a long list of disturbing movies that get worse as you go on. I've never heard of this. I don't know. I don't know. I'm not disturbed by anything really. The only thing that ever really even kind of fucked with me at all was Megan is Missing. I've said this before. I was having a real tough time that night. But there you go. I like that the Bigfoot in Exist use sabotage instead of only brute force. I agree. Friday the 13th would be level 1, and insane pseudo snuff from Japan is like level 8. So what the fuck is level 10? If snuff films are level 8, then what's level 10? Jesus Christ. Is there anything worse than snuff? You got anything harder? You got any snuff? Oh man, good old 8mm. You know they made an 8mm too, which should have been called 16mm. Come on. People have no sense of humor. I'm telling you, they fucking these filmmakers. That's such an easy one, man. 8mm times 2. What the fuck am I talking about? What movie is this? Exists? Okay. Book said he's friendly. Nora's name in this movie is Dora. And that's the only name in here that's the same as the actual actor. So that's interesting to me because obviously Joshua Leonard and Heather Donahue and all that, they use their real names in the movies and they for what their actual names are in real life. And then in this one, Dora retains her name and nobody else. I thought that was kind of interesting. They find a gun, but it's in Texas. It's set in Texas, so that makes perfect sense. The Bigfoot chase, the guy who's on the bike and Bigfoot's chasing after him. He's so fast. Imagine riding your bike through the woods as fast as you can, and Bigfoot is fucking just Terminator 2 T-1000 running as fast as fuck. That'd be so scary. Yes, there is. Look it up. 8mm 2. They also made a Cell 2, like the Jennifer Lopez one. They've made all sorts of sequels that people do not know exist, that they just have no idea that they exist. And there you go. But yeah, for some reason, I seem to know about like every sequel that's ever been made. Because I love that shit. I don't know why. I find that kind of stuff very interesting. Like they made 3 Manglers. Okay, they made 3 Manglers. Who here has seen Mangler 2? And who here has seen Mangler 3? Mangler Reborn. This guy has. Anybody else? Anybody ever seen fucking Mangler 2? With the killer like robotic school system, security system? Sit through Mangler Reborn. I fucking dare you. Okay. So I don't know what it is about sequels. I just have a thing for them. I don't know. Although I've never seen S. Darko. I've never seen the Donnie Darko sequel or whatever, which is weird. Let's see. Where are we? The Bigfoot chase is really honestly terrifying to me. Just thinking about actually being in that situation. And then after he falls and breaks his leg, not only does he use him basically as bait to like throw down in this tunnel, but he also brings back the bicycle that he was riding on and he throws it up onto the porch, which I love. I love because it's kind of psychological warfare, right? And it's sending a message like, hey, I got your fucking friend. He's not going for help. You're not getting any assistance here. And I'm going to fucking kill all of you. So that's hilarious. Like, I love that. I think that's brilliant. I love that he brings the bike back and throws it up there. Carla, have you seen American Psycho 2? Yes, I have, with Mila Kunis and William Shatner set in a college. I sure have seen that fucking dreadful piece of shit. What a terrible film. She's the niece of Patrick Bateman, if I remember correctly. What a dumbass movie that is. All right, let's see. And they hide in the basement, and the Bigfoot doesn't know where they're at until he does, and then he breaks in, and he gets shot, but that shot doesn't appear to have hurt him. He just kind of maybe scares him away. Or I guess this Bigfoot probably is a girl, right? This is probably mom. Where is mom if it's not mom? Or where is dad if it's not dad? I'm not sure. Maybe, they're her. Wait, maybe they can breed with themselves. I don't know. And I was going to say hermaphrodite. Then I'm like, no, that's not what I meant. Let's see. I keep losing my fucking nose. I don't know where I got to keep my finger on there. This little prick, though, that has the gun. Oh, he's not a little prick. He's actually huge. He's fucking buff as hell. I feel like he could take, he could at least square off with the Bigfoot in this movie and give him a run for his money a little bit. But this guy's in charge of the gun. If you ever want to put a guy in charge of a gun, it's not this fucking idiot. He fires off multiple shots when he only has like 6 shells to start. And he also never reloads this gun in the moments when he should be reloading this gun. Like, he's pointing the gun up at the cellar door. Speaking of Donnie Darko, cellar door, right? Anybody? And then he finally fucking clicks it open and starts reloading it. What the fuck are you doing? Reload the thing off already. Off topic. Falcon and Winter Soldier. Falcon and Winter Soldier episode 1 was fucking fantastic, man. Just fantastic. That opening action sequence where Sam is flying through, like Grand Canyon type shit. I mean, obviously it's near Libyan airspace, so it's obviously not the Grand Canyon, but whatever. It is on the fucking level of anything in any MCU movie. It's crazy. It blew my mind. I was watching, I was like, holy shit, this is a television series. This is a fucking television series. And then how it explores like Sam's life and kind of what happens after the blip. and how that can affect everybody. And then, of course, with what Bucky's up to with kind of his my name is Earl, kind of he's looking for, forgiveness. Oh man, so fucking fantastic. So fantastic. What a great first episode. The MCU is the most sure thing there is right now for me. Like, I don't even go in wondering if I'm going to like anything anymore. It's just, I wonder how much I'm going to like that thing. That's it. That's where they're at right now. They've hit this stride where they just cannot fail for me. It's a sure thing at this point. So I cannot wait for episode 2. So there you go. I read recently the 2015 movie Solace was written as a sequel to Seven. Could have been an interesting sequel, but was made as a standalone. This is accurate. So back in the late 90s, after the release of Seven, because of the popularity of it, they wanted a sequel. And so someone wrote a sequel that made Detective Somerset, Morgan Freeman's character, they wrote him to be all of a sudden kind of like a clairvoyant. He was going to have psychic abilities out of nowhere. The movie was going to be called 8, and he was going to be able to he was going to be like psychically linked to shit. Who the fuck comes up with this shit? Who comes up with this shit? You're going to write a sequel to 7, and all of a sudden fucking Detective Somerset is going to be like, what? I get it. Writers want to challenge the audience, and they want to try new things, and they want to be creative and artistic and all this shit. But you don't take a film grounded in firm reality, this gritty crime drama thriller, and then insert supernatural elements to it. You know who did this, though? You know who did actually do this, though? Stephen King did this in his Bill Hodges trilogy. Book 1, Mr. Mercedes. Book 2, Finders Keepers. Totally straight, no supernatural at all. And then book 3, End of Watch, completely supernatural. And when you watch the show, when you watch the TV show, Mr. Mercedes, it's such an out of fucking left field thing that you're like, what? And it's even more out of fucking left field in the books. You're like, what? Brady Hartsfeld is now, what the fuck is happening here? So yeah, really weird. Anyway, hi Jason, how are you today? That kind of reminds me of what I was just talking about earlier with Daniel Johnson. Everybody know that shirt I'm talking about with like the little alien with the eyes poking up? Almost looks like Crumb from Real Monsters. Remember that show with Belina and Ickis and the Grumble? No. Jesus Christ. It's been a long time since I watched that damn show. Have you seen Yule Bowl's movie Seed? Oh, fucking Seed. Fucking Seed, dude. Like, oh, that movie upsets me, bro. Like, you're really going to make me sit through 5 fucking minutes of PETA videos in the opening of that film? Really? Like, do I really need to see fucking animals being tortured? Literal, real footage of animals being abused and tortured. Who the fuck puts that before their movie, man? Like, I get it. They're trying to show us like what's corrupted this guy's mind that he was forced to watch these videos. I don't care. You don't show me fucking PETA videos unless Sarah McLachlan is singing over them. And even then I don't want to see them. That was just brutal to sit through. Fuck that. So anyways, Rampage is good, but man, fuck that. Anyway. And then let's see. We already talked about all that. Yeah, I already talked about all that. Holy shit, I talked about a lot here. Matt screaming out there when they go to look for him. This, of course, reminded me of the Blair Witch. Tell me where you are, Josh. And then the dude hands the other guy the gun, and he's like, hey, man, be careful. There's only one shot left. I wonder why there's only one shot left, you fucking dolt. Firing him off into the damn fucking woods like an idiot. Oh God, it got pissing me off. And then this dude crawls through the tunnels to go after his brother to save his life. And I'm looking at those tunnels like that is the scariest shit I've ever seen. But there are a few people in this world that I would crawl into that tunnel for, and one of them assuredly is my brother Nathan. Oof. I love that line. I love that line. I don't know what it is about that line. The way that Mike like says that shit and just you know what I did? It's fucked up. I love his performance. I love his performance in that where he just can't like seem to bring himself to get that out where he just keeps saying it's like it's fucked up. It's fucked up. He's like and he like keeps laughing. He's like, I took that map and I fucking kicked it into the creek. Are you kidding? Matt, are you kidding? Matt, are you joking? It was useless. It was useless. I'm with him. He's like, that Matt's fucking useless. It was. They were never getting out of there. So, but yeah, it was irresponsible. I took that map and I kicked it in the fucking creek. I love that somebody else finds that funny. I love that. Let's see. Another is Samara. What is a sure thing? Samara Weaving? Is that what we're talking about here? The beautiful, always wonderful Samara Weaving. Let's see. When the guy gets in there, his legs are smashed. Both of his brother's legs are completely obliterated. Brutal. And then he pulls him out of there and he ends up dying anyways. But hey, whatever. He went for him. The guy, honestly, the guy who survives this movie, he's kind of the comic relief, kind of the annoying side character, the guy who's usually killed off, right? Honestly, throughout the movie, I feel like he's the only one that has an actual arc to him. At first, he's kind of a pervert. He's watching his friends fuck and he's filming them, which is completely wrong. You should, give people their privacy and respect that. And you shouldn't be peeping on people fucking unless they, know you're there and they're okay with it. And he just does stupid shit throughout the opening. But as he's going on, he goes in and he saves his fucking brother. Like he's the one that crawls in there. And then at the end, he literally sacrifices himself to the Bigfoot because he's like, I feel responsible for this. I'm a terrible person. You should kill me. And he turns his back and he puts the gun down and he takes what's coming to him. And it lets him live because of how much respect he shows. He's the most disrespectful guy in the film, and throughout the film he becomes the most respectful guy, and I feel like no one else in this film has an arc to them at all. He's our main character, but he's played like a side character. He's played like a Teddy from Friday the 13th Part 4 or something. You know what I mean? Like he's not the character that ends up being the final girl, but he's the final girl of the movie. And he has this really developed character arc where he's annoying as fuck. And then he's very respectful and even sacrifices his life twice, where he goes to sacrifice himself for his brother by crawling into an insanely dangerous situation, but then also does it out of complete guilt and respect for this Bigfoot's kid and its loss. So, I have to give a lot of credit to that actor and the writer and director and everything for being able to pull that off for me. Yet again, another fucking reason why this isn't a 0, you fucking pricks. A 0. I can't get over that. I can't get over it. Now, when the dude goes outside to send the fireworks off, like a flare gun into the sky, do they say why he can't shoot it off right outside? Why couldn't he just get up on the fucking roof of the RV and shoot him off from up there, or like right out front? The trees were too dense in that area and he had to run to a place where it was like an open field. Is that the thought process there? Is that what they said? I didn't notice because I was watching this with somebody, and they were we were texting back and forth while watching it. And then my dad was in here as well, and he was trying to talk to me, and I was like, shut the fuck up, Dad. Love you, Dad, but when I'm trying to watch something, fuck you. I don't know. But yeah, so I don't really understand why he had to do that, but that really does set up a very effective scare. And that's when the fireworks going off and a lot of smoke is in the air, and then Bigfoot runs through it at him. That's great, man. Why he would take a camera with him. You can't think about that in these movies. You just can't do it. Like, why is he in there filming? Why did he take the camera? It doesn't make any sense. They wouldn't press record because a lot of the argument is like, oh, they needed the flashlight on it. Yeah, but they didn't need to record it. It's just, it doesn't matter. I don't care. I'm fine with it. I need to see the movie. So, but I do like when they do at least try to explain why, something in like Mockingbird, where they're like, if you stop filming, you die. That makes perfect sense to me. You got to keep filming. I think that's also in Keep Watching, Bella Thorne movie. I don't remember. But yeah. Anyway, best final girl is Jessie from Nightmare 2. You bet your fucking ass. I think that scene alone gave the movie a true level of believability. The kick the Mac in the creek thing. I love that. And then, yeah, this is when the trailer gets flipped over with them all inside of it. That's a great shot. I've always wondered how the hell they do that shit, man. How do those actors and those stuntmen not get killed when those things are flipping around? I have no idea, but that's great. And then they look up through the door that's open and it jumps down all the way from that's a really freaking impressive shot. And for a low budget movie like this. So that looks really cool. I like that a lot. And then the dude plays dead, but then he gets dragged off anyways. You think the Bigfoot is gone, but he's not. And he drags him off. And that's kind of a, surprising moment, which I dug. And then, yeah, we get the reveal of the dead Bigfoot baby. And the baby Bigfoot looks really good. The special effects on both the Bigfoot and the Bigfoot's dead baby body are really cool. I like the look of them. I have no real complaints about that. That yet another thing would make this not a 0. What would happen? If it were Paranormal Activity, Mika never stops filming ever. Yeah, but Mika has his reasons, right? Mika's trying to catch the paranormal activity on film. That's very specifically what he's setting everything up for. So I can buy that. Now, why Mika never seems to understand that the activity didn't start to escalate until he started filming it. He probably should have been able to put 2 and 2 together there, but yeah, I don't know. A pretty cool found footage from, dude, I'm getting tired. Like reading these, my mouth's starting to slur the words. I can't talk. A pretty cool found footage flick I saw recently was, I can't remember how to say that, Haunted Asylum. Yeah, I've seen it. I like it. I haven't seen This Exists movies, but I'm going to check it out. Cool. It's a good movie, man. You should for sure. And then, yeah, so he has the Bigfoot dead to rights after his uncle comes to save him, which, does the uncle live or not? I can't tell in that. I don't understand. But the Bigfoot ends up sparing his life, right? So he sees that he's very sorry and he puts the gun down, and the Bigfoot is smart enough and in tune enough. And you think that it's going to be a surprise kill kind of thing, right? That's the way it feels at the end. It feels like, we're going to think it walked away and then boom, the guy's head's going to get knocked off or something. But nope. The Bigfoot allows him to live. I can't tell if his uncle dies or not, but his friends do, and he puts their bodies all together right in front of his dead kids or her dead kids grave, which I thought was really cool, and he kind of puts them together. He should have put them together in a fucking pentagram. Is that what it is? Coffin rocker. But yeah, that's it. Exists and Friday the 13th all in one go. We did it in an hour and 40 minutes. Not too bad. We got a lot of side talk here, though, man. I could have probably done this in 45 minutes, but I like talking to you guys. That's why I do this shit live. It's fun. Both Wolf Creeks are like that too. Like what? I don't know. I'm too fucking tired. I was pleased Sanchez cast Michelle Williams again in Altered as Otis. Oh, Michael Williams. Michelle Williams. I read that as Michelle Williams. See what I'm talking about, guys? This is when you really want to fucking watch me, when I don't even know what the hell I'm talking about or what the hell I'm doing. You're sleepy. Yes, it's 5 a.m. here in Florida. Suck it up. Are you still awake? Holy shit. Okay, there's a difference between watching a live stream and doing a live stream for an hour and 40 minutes and trying to entertain everybody after having just fucking, lived my entire day trying to entertain 2 8-year-olds. But yeah, anyways, you're right. I'm gonna go suck it up. I'm gonna go suck up some sleep. So I appreciate everyone hanging out. It was fun. I didn't want to skip out on Slasher Sunday or Monster Monday this week because last week I missed Slasher Sunday and Stephen King Saturday. So I apologize for that. But I got to it this week. I had to do it last second, but better than nothing, right? Well, some of you might not agree. Maybe some of you might be just like, anything's better than this shit. Look how tired I fucking got. Like, you should look back at the beginning of this video. I'm probably like, hey guys, how's it going? To like at the end where I'm like, all right, guys, I'm fucked. Oh, shit, dude. Do the openings. Paul Shunk himself came into the chat. One little, like, last second. What time is it where you're at, Paul? I need a cuddle buddy. Paul, you know anybody? You probably don't know anybody, but that's okay. What's your favorite movie genre other than horror? Sleep. Sleep is my favorite extra genre. You know what's funny is I'll probably fucking go and record a review or something after this. Fantasy, sci-fi, fantasy, action. I love all that shit, man. I love all film. There's not really a genre I don't like. I'll watch it all. But oh, you know somebody? Okay, send her over my way. Although she can't have a bigger dick than me. We've already established this earlier. You'll have to go back for reference. I keep hitting this mic. How's that sound? Does that sound good? All right, guys. Well, good night to everybody. Thank you for joining in, and good night.